Hello, and welcome to the 85th episode of the But I'm Knitting podcast. My name is Ramona. I'm a knitter from Toronto, and welcome to my corner of the crafting world. I think it's been probably by the time I upload this 4 weeks since I last did an update, but a lot has happened. And it's not like I haven't been doing anything. I've been doing a lot of stuff, but let's get into it. I'll discuss the more confusing parts later on. Okay, so let's see. I've got stash enhancements, I got finished objects, and I got works in progress, and I got a couple new cast-ons. So there's a lot today. So let me start with my finished objects. So last episode you had seen I was very close to finishing up 2 pairs of socks, and guess what? I finished them both. They are both done. So let's start with this one. This one is a yarn. Last time you had seen it, it was on the second sock, and I was just there. All I had to do was just do a few more rounds and then do my toe. So those are now finished. So for these ones, this is a yarn that I dyed called, the colorway is called I'm Gonna Call You Skirt. The thing that I find interesting is just looking at the different, I'm assuming this is tension issues as to why they look so different. Because the spirals on these ones look a lot tighter and closer. They're a lot looser on this one. But I still like the way they turned out. They're a little bit mismatched, but it's all good. The only thing that I realized that's a problem for this one, and I didn't realize I was almost at the toe, I dropped a stitch right there. So I've got to find a way to weave it back in. And once that happens, I will be done. So for the heel cuffs and toes, it was a random blue skein that I did. I just really, really liked the color. I thought it was gorgeous. So that's what I used for that. So that's 1 pair of socks done. I used a size 0 needle. I think they were my Addie sock rockets. I think that's what I used for that. So that's 1 pair of socks done. And they were size 0. There we go. Nearly forgot that. Next finished object. These socks. I think they look beautiful. I don't know, when you had last seen them, I just had a little bit more to go on this one. And I went on to go on and do the toe. I actually ended up finishing it the same day while I was sitting at the knitting loft. I finished it then, and I immediately pulled them onto my feet. I shuffled my way over to the office where I think Maria, Bruna, and I'm forgetting names, but they were there and I showed them off. I was so excited. So these were the socks. So for the toe, I think I've learned my lessons with these. The mini skeins, these are mini skeins from Primrose Yarn, and I love it. The other problem is, I guess mine are just, maybe I'd used too much for the cuff, I'm not sure, but this is the second time I've done it, and I've run out before I could finish the toe, right? So I had to switch back to my old color. But that's the same thing that happened with this one, where I was doing good, and then I ran out just before the toe. So I've accepted it. I don't know if this is just going to become a regular thing for me, because I actually kind of like the toe is a little bit different from the rest. So that's another pair of socks done. This one is a pattern that I kind of adapted from the Japanese Stitch Dictionary. Let's see if I can, I don't know if I can fully show it to you. I will try my best. Bear with me. Okay, so if I, okay. So if you could see the pattern going down, yeah. That's the design of it. It's so hard to see when it's on the needle when you have nothing in a sense to contrast it against. Or hold on, maybe this might help a little bit better. I don't know if it will. We'll be a little bit more comfortable. If you can look that way, that might help a little bit more. So the yarn that I use for the purple, this one is a Mondim, which honestly I haven't washed these yet, but according to Vanessa from the Knitting Loft, it's perfect. It's made exactly for socks. I gotta wash them and wear them. I'm sure that they'll be fine. I'm not worried about it felting or anything like that. It should be good. So that is the pattern on it. So that's 1 finished object. Woohoo! That's 2 finished objects. Sorry. Alright, so that's 2 sock blockers that I have had to use for my socks. And because so let's move on from finished objects to stash enhancement. So because they're like, oh my gosh, I finished 2 pairs of socks. If I finish anything else, how am I going to display them? Yeah, I took care of that problem. I went back to the store and I bought another set of sock blockers. There's nothing on them yet. I don't have anything finished to go on them, but these ones are by Spryspin. I don't know. This is the tag that comes on it. I got them in a size small because that's what works well for my feet. So I got another set of sock blockers. That means I should be able to finish 3 at a time to put them up there so they're perfect for display. So that's one of my stash enhancements. My other stash enhancement I actually got today. It's the first anniversary of the Knitting Loft being open, and I'm to get something to commemorate this. I got a skein from Riverside Studio. This is, oh, it's from Quebec too. Didn't know that. What's the colorway for this? Did I take note of the colorway? It's called Fizz Pop. So this is the label, and from Wakefield, Quebec, and the colorway is Fizz Pop. I was asked today, I was told today, oh, that's very beautiful. What are you going to make with it? I'm like, I don't know. It's got nylon in it. It can easily be turned into a pair of socks. It can also be turned into a shawl with other colors. I can put it together to make something for a sweater. I don't know. I just looked at it. I liked it. And I see many options that I can get to do with that. So that's what I got today. So that's all for my stash enhancements. I will show you now my works in progress. So I'm not certain if I actually worked on this one in the past few weeks or not. I don't remember, but if I didn't do it, then I just forgot to move my stitch marker, but I'll just show it off anyways. So what's the name of this pattern again? Hold on. This is called my Chrysalis Shawl. Still not done. Well, my friends from the Knitting Loft already finished theirs and have pictures and everything put up. I still have not finished mine. So there we go. But it's getting pretty big. So this is where I am with it. And where was the stitch marker? I did just see it. I just saw it. Oh, there it is. So my stitch marker is here. I'm not certain if I have done that since, or if I just didn't move my stitch marker. I'm not fully certain, but that's where it is right now. That's all of it. The yarn I'm using for this is Hello Stella. She's a dyer from Hamilton. Can I remember what the, I'll try and remember to put the colorway names at the bottom there. Because honestly, a lot of the times I've lost these labels, or I've been working on them for so long they fall out of the bag, I don't remember where I put them. But I'm loving it. So I'm using a, I think, is this Like? No, it's not Like. I'm not sure, but these are the needles I'm using for them. It could be a Knitter's Pride one too. I think it's Knitter's Pride, because when I get the wooden ones, I think that's what they look like. But it works just fine. I like it. So that goes back into the bag, and I'll try to remember to actually move the stitch marker so I won't have this confusion next time. But the reason I didn't work on the Chrysalis shawl is because I spent all of my time working on a different shawl. So this one is my Sizzle Pop. Yeah, my Sizzle Pop shawl. So this is, I just remembered about another thing I forgot to put up. It's okay. I'll show them off later if I can. So this is my Sizzle Pop shawl. From where the cake is, that's how much I've done. I've actually done quite a bit, I think. It's not as big as it needs to be yet, but I'm working on it slowly. I'm trying my best not to make any mistakes, trying to do everything as good as possible. So this is the front. This is the back. It really doesn't make a difference because it's brioche. And the yarn I'm using is by Chelsea Yarns. So she had the shop over a month ago, and the Knitting Loft is the only place that you can actually get it in Canada, like at a store. So this is what I got. So this one, I have faux leather boots. What am I doing? What's the point of showing that side? Faux leather boots, or favorite leather boots. And then this one here is Tin Can. That's the colorways that I'm using for this one. So let's see if I can do it from this. Faux leather boots. Why do I keep calling it that? Favorite leather boots, and then this is Tin Cans. So these are, I'm loving them. I did get a third skein, but I haven't actually done anything with it. I'm pretty certain I showed it off last time. I have it in a bag. Is it this one? Nope, that's not it. It's not in that bag. It's around here somewhere, but I'm pretty certain I showed it off last week, so there's no point in showing it off again. So this is my current work in progress for this one. This is the one I've done a lot of work. These are my leaking needles. That's what I'm using for these ones. So that is my other work in progress. I've got a couple of new cast-ons as well. Let's see if I can remember these. So, hold on. Christina from the... I can't remember. My memory is so bad right now. So, this is a self-striping yarn. I'm pretty certain to show this off. I got this at the Frolic. And this is where my Addy sock rockets are because, yeah, they bend in my hand. As much as I try not to, they bend in my hand as I work with them. Trying to put it back to a somewhat straight, can't guarantee that. So this is as far as I've made it for these socks. The colorway, it has something to do with Beauty and the Beast. I can't remember what it is, but the last time I had yarn by her, it was one that was dyed exclusively for the Toronto Knitters Guild. My aunt saw it and she took it and I never got them back. So this one is staying mine. I did the leg much longer than I usually do, and I think I like the length that it is. So in the set, she sends them as a mini skein and a full skein, and the mini skein is this lovely blue color, right? So I'm using a size. I'm just doing a vanilla sock. I'm using a size 2.0 millimeter, which is a 0 US. That's what I'm using for these ones. Doing it on circular. So the yarn, that one, along with this one. And because I was afraid that the other day I was going to walk out and I finished off my socks and have nothing to knit, I just stuck it in the same bag and they've been living together ever since. I cast on a new pair of socks. So this colorway is Anne of Green Gables. So that's the yarn. This is from Crochet 1 Knit 2. I've gotten quite a few of her bags before, but she's now switched over to yarn dyeing. I think specializing mostly in self-striping. So this one is based on Anne of Green Gables. She's got ones for Harry Potter. She's got, like, I think I saw a Pokemon one there. So a lot of pop culture and sometimes Canadian themes like Anne of Green Gables. So that was the yarn that I got. And this is the sock so far. I am almost at the point of putting in heels. So I'm liking where it's going so far. I'm trying to match it up same length as this one. And the darn yarn. Let me go pick it up before I forget. Okay, so yeah. So I'm trying to make it the same length as the other sock that I'm working on. So that's where it is right now. That's right. Yeah. And then for the contrast color, I did not have anything that matched any of these colors because she just sells just self-striping. So I pulled out this one. I use this in a different project. I think this is the one that I dyed with avocado. So that's leftover I had left for that. And then there's a cuff. Not quite matching, but you know, I think it's far enough away that it won't make that much of a difference and not be that noticeable. I like the color. So there's that. And I think that is everything for my new acquisitions, my finished projects, my new cast on, and my works in progress. I finished it all. Woohoo! It's only taken me 13 minutes. I'm sorry, I need to take a sip. I picked this up on the way home today. Tim Hortons French Vanilla. That's usually what my preferred hot drink outside of salted caramel hot chocolate, but that's not in season now. It's pumpkin spice season, and I'm not a pumpkin spice person. So, what else has been happening for these past few weeks? Well, it's about a month until my brother's wedding, and I'm excited. My dress is ready. Got an appointment with a hairdresser to get everything checked for all of that kind of stuff. Oh gosh, sorry. My hair has been bothering me for the past... It looks great first thing in the morning, but then as it starts to dry, it doesn't quite stay the same as it's supposed to. But, well, whatever. It's just this section specifically that always causes the problem because it doesn't blend in as well, like how I want it to be. But that's the nature of hair. I'm leaving that. So yeah, my brother's coming up. Him and his fiance, they're coming up to, well, just over a month, like exactly 4 weeks from now is when, by this time, we'll be dancing or something of the sort, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what else has happened. My younger siblings, they went back to school. Some of them like, yay, it's going great, I like the class I'm taking. Others are they're like, I wish it was still summer vacation. It is what it is. We went, so my grandfather also went through surgery. Actually, it's probably about a month ago now. I can't remember the exact date. So he got the amputation that he needed in order to, it was a very much needed surgery. So he had it. He actually recovered quite well. He had it on the, was it Wednesday or Thursday? He had it on the Wednesday. And then by the Monday, he was already being shipped off to rehab because he was actually recovering very, very good. He basically, for the first time in a long time, was able to sleep through the night without any pain. And it's been a long time since that's been able to happen. So he's in the rehab place right now. Unfortunately, due to the build of our house, because I live in a split level, so that means there's lots of stairs all over the place. And he's going to require a wheelchair. He's not going to be able to come back home and stay with us. We're trying our best to get him a nursing home not far from our house that we can go and visit quite frequently. Because right now, even while we're going to go see him in the rehab, my mom is there like 4 out of 7 days a week to go see him. He gets quite a few visitors and all that kind of stuff. So I'm happy for his recovery. I'm happy for that he's been brought this far. And I know he's going to be, in a sense, I still think he kind of misses the leg, and I think that's always going to be the case, but I think he's also understanding as to the sense why it had to go. Because he was basically living in pain. Like, there were small bursts of pain before, but this year was when it really, really, really got bad. He couldn't sleep. So if you can't sleep, your body can't recover. And if your body doesn't recover, well, guess what? It's not healing, and it's making everything worse. So I'm happy for him. Yeah. So I think I have covered everything that's been happening. I got a little bit of quality time holding my friend's son, and he just fell asleep against me yesterday, and I was so ecstatic. Yeah, there's that. That is pretty much everything that's been going on for the past month or so. I don't know how frequently I'm going to be able to do updates right now, because I've actually been very busy with work. I pretty much almost moved from part-time to almost full-time now with where I'm working. So because of that, by the time it's harder to manage the time that I want to do. So I got to work on a time plan or a time schedule that works best for me to be able to do all the stuff that I want to do. So I'm not giving up on the podcast. I'm still going to continue doing the podcast. I just may not be able to get back to I used to be able to do it once a week. Then just before summer started to go to 2 every 2 weeks, and now it's like every 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not certain how often I'm going to be able to update, but I'm still going to do my best to update. I may try doing smaller snippets on something like on Instagram or something like that. Keep that as like a more constant update, because that will take 30-40 seconds or something like that. That doesn't take as long as it does to really sit down and do this. Mind you, I'm pretty certain my recording does not take as long as other people's, because I pretty much do everything on my iPad. But it's like the actual energy to sit down there, put everything together, and record, and then edit what I have afterwards. But it'll be okay. I'm still going to be here. So, so that is everything. Hope to see you again next week or next episode. Have a good day, and thank you for spending your knitting time with me. Bye.